Today we're going to share with you the general layout of the beautiful city of Salzburg, Austria, and throw in a few tips and tricks. If you stand on one of the bridges and look north, Old City will be on your left and on your right. On the left you'll find the Salzburg Fortress, the oldest original churches in Salzburg, and the Weisse Beer Garden. The Old City to your right is where you'll find the Mirabella Palace. Both sides have pedestrian walkways with shops and restaurants and small hotels to spend the night. Let's first take a look at the Old City to your left, which is actually west of the river. You have a choice of several bridges to make your way over to the west side of the river. And don't forget to check out the Lock Bridge on your way over. Once you're there, walk north up the pedestrian walkway and check out all the restaurants and shops. To obtain euros, we used our US debit card at the local bank ATMs, and we used our US credit cards for dinner. Just notify your bank and credit card company before you leave that you intend to use them. You'll notice that this side is a little crowded with tourists, but don't let that deter you. If you walk a little further into the Old City, you'll be greeted by some beautiful open courtyards and historic churches. And don't forget to stop at Cafe Tomaselli, the oldest coffee house in Salzburg. Now head over to the east side of the river to check out the other Old City. But on your way, stop and enjoy the pathways along the river. Here's a view looking back where you just came from. And watch out for those bicycles. Now let's take a look at the Old City on the east side of the river. At the plaza closest to the bridge, look for the Foot Locker sign. If you bear to the left, that will take you to the Mirabella Palace. If you bear to the right, as we did, that will take you up the pedestrian walkway Linzgasse. We found it was less crowded on this side of the river and there were more cafes and restaurants. This is where number 14 Linzgasse is, the walkway to one of the best views of Salzburg, shown in one of our other videos. And while you're walking up Linzgasse, don't forget to stop for a little afternoon coffee. And visit the small neighborhood church right on the pedestrian walkway. At the end of the pedestrian street Linzgasse is the hotel that we stayed at for 4 days, Hotel Hofwirt of Salzburg. For $100 a night US, we had a room with a private bath, and it also included breakfast, which was quite good. But be aware, there's no air conditioning. But there's a nice outdoor seating area where you can relax at night or have your breakfast. Here's a sample of what our free breakfast included. A few blocks from the hotel is where we had our last meal in Salzburg, at the Weisse Brewery and Beer Garden. As with every meal we had in Salzburg, the food was exceptionally fresh and delicious. We said goodbye to Salzburg with a final dessert, for tomorrow we'll be off to Switzerland. But before we go, we need to pay our respects to the victims of the Holocaust. Around the city, there are small plaques with the names of those who were taken to the concentration camps in the sidewalk in front of their former homes. Let us never forget. Until next time, safe travel.